Welcome to another incredible quarantine edition of the Monday M.A.S.S with Chris Coté and Todd Richards. The date is March 30th, 2020, and it is an actual Monday.
Is it April?
April something 20-something. Does that date make sense to you? I'm Chris Coté. Who are you?
I'm Todd Richards, and look, we need, first and foremost, this is a new format for the Monday M.A.S.S. For those of you that are listening, what?
We're double dipping hard.
For those of you that are listening on the traditional podcast style, you're really missing out because we are now on a Zoom format as well, and you get to see cool stuff like what I've got going on in my garage and video clips and pictures. And
I almost thought you were going to say what you got going on in your pants, which would have been weird just because I can't see it, but now I can see it. So in nerd news, if you want to get down into that, we can totally do that if you're down for that.
Herd news.
And now it's great because you can actually see and even feel Todd's facial expressions when one of my jokes doesn't land with him, which is super rare. But in case you missed it, it just happened. Todd, you want to talk about our sponsors or you want to talk about the preview of the show?
Well, you always like to go into this preview thing. It's kind of a part of our new format.
So you're right. Okay, since we're professional broadcasters now, after hundreds and hundreds of episodes, let's talk about on today's episode of the Monday M.A.S.S. Myself, Todd, we're going to talk about John John Florence on the high seas. He's now a pirate. Torren Martyn and the Surfer Magazine Clips of the Month. We're going to we're going to do our damn best to get Thrasher Magazine Editor-in-Chief Mike Burnett in on this podcast to talk about the late, the great, the incredible Jeff Grosso. Also, we're going to ask him about Scramble because that's amazing. We're going to get a video chat going with the top 5 finisher of X Games Real Snow, Craig McMorris. And then we're going to dive deep into video drops and surf, skate, snow, talk about companies doing their part to help us through all this madness. In nerd news, Westworld is going to play a key role.
Dude.
We're going to talk about simulation in a simulation within a simulation.
Okay, well, I haven't watched last night's Westworld.
Oh, me neither. Okay. So we're right on the same page.
Okay,
there.
Cool. All right, this for
once.
Also,
Todd's Burning Man outfit and his Coachella outfit, what you were going to wear.
Right. We need to talk about mask fashion out of grocery stores.
Oh, yeah.
Just in public mask fashion.
Oh, right.
I think. Who is that?
I don't know.
Anybody?
One of my kids' teachers. We just finished homeschool here.
Oh, it's cool.
I'm a pretty bad homeschool teacher. I'll be 100% honest with you.
Well,
how are you doing?
These are tough times. Well, my kids, like one of them has pretty much like from 8 in the morning until 3, like kind of like real structured online, like Zoom school. Okay. So my daughter is like Zoom school, like normal school, except she's in her room eating snacks at the same time. My son, on the other hand, has like one kind of class that kind of isn't a class. So it's like we got one that's structured and one that's just kind of like doing stuff. He's really.
I got one that's doing stuff on his iPad in a different room, and he could be playing Fortnite. I don't know, but he's doing it for 3 hours, so I feel okay about that. And the other one is doing math in Spanish.
Right.
So there's 2 things that I don't know how to do.
Great.
So we're lost over here, but thankfully,
you've got
us this time right now to get right into it. Let's thank our sponsors. I mean, this is crucial right now. All of our sponsors, all of the people involved with this podcast are doing something to help. And starting with Adventure.io. Todd, we talked about this the last couple of podcasts. Right now, Adventure.io is our beacon of hope, the light at the end of the tunnel, because there will be adventures after this. After this whole shit show on our planet gets back, rights itself, and is wiped clean of the planet, there will be adventures.
I feel like one of the best adventures you can go on is one based on chlorine, because chlorine freaking kills everything.
Okay,
right?
so
and our adventure to BSR, the BSR surf park, that you know, once the whole travel thing gets worked out, there really is no better place to be than a highly chlorinated environment.
And no better people to be there with, Todd, than you and I.
Right. We are human disinfectants, really.
You don't want to
We repel everything.
So. Yeah, you don't want to go to a surf park away. You don't even want to go on a trip with a pro surfer. I've been on so many trips with pro surfers, and they're the worst. They're the worst people to be on a trip and or in a wave pool with. You want to be in a wave pool with guys like Todd and I, because not only are we all, you know, we're going to be getting equal amount of waves. We're going to be ripping. Don't get us wrong there. But then after the fact, you're going to get that experience to have Todd Richards, a legendary, iconic, globally known commentator, and me, a guy who talks into his phone for the Instagram crowd. You get both of us put together to commentate your session. That's the goal. I think that's a good global goal.
You know, who knows? You know, if we stay in quarantine long enough, you might be on TikTok.
That's right.
Right. So maybe you'll expand your horizons.
Is that where you pull your pants off and you go like that with your downstairs? Is that TikTok?
No, that's just completely different. That's a different app altogether, really.
Well, go to at Adventure.io and we'll try TikToking on our own time later. Go to at Adventure.io and get excited about what's going to happen.
Who's our next sponsor?
We're talking K2 Snowboarding. K2 Snowboarding has been with us through the entire winter, and you know, they are just like us. They wanted to ride, they wanted to rip, they wanted to show off their incredible new team with the Sage Kotzenbergs and the Curtis Cizeks and the insanely stacked team they have. But don't worry, that team will still be stacked in this. Todd, when is your gut telling you that people will be riding again, not like the hiking in the backcountry, but actually getting on lifts, riding, be it Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere? What do you think is a timeline we can hope for?
Do you have my crystal ball? Am I accessing a crystal ball?
Yes.
Soon.
Good. So the K2 team will be back on it.
You guys will be back pretty soon.
Oh my gosh. You'll be back. You'll be back.
Easily soon.
And also the good news is all of our boards that we got for this season are pretty much brand new.
Right.
So they're going to be brand new next season as well.
Which may not be super good for the industry, but we can get into that during
them, but it's good for us because we still have new boards. Yeah. Well, you can't have a Monday M.A.S.S without Pannikin Coffee and Tea.
I celebrate them every morning still.
This is one of the reasons that we're not panicking.
Right.
Because we have Pannikin Coffee and Tea. I've already had 2 extra large Pannikin coffees this morning to get myself jazzed up for this. And remember, if you go to Pannikin Coffee and Tea on the internet, enter the code MASS20, you are going to get 20% off. But why don't you, for this month, for April, bypass that code, pay full price, support Pannikin Coffee and Tea, buy it online. They have K-Cups, they have unground, they have ground, they have everything for your coffee and tea needs right now.
And you can if you're local, just support, you know, like you can go in there. There's less people than the grocery store.
Hey, there's never a line.
No.
Sometimes, you know, back in the day, remember when humanity was normal and there was lines at Pannikin Coffee and Tea, and that's fine.
Remember a month ago with lines?
Remember places?
Remember places? Actually, there's still like now the lines are like at like grocery stores. Like there's weird like Soviet bloc lines to get in to the grocery stores now.
Bread lines.
Hey, before we go into sponsors any further, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So I'm a little freaked out by the whole mask thing. Like where you have to wear a mask to go anywhere. You're supposed to wear masks now to go into stores or, you know, and that kind of thing. It's, the jury's kind of out whether or not it's like doing anything, but you know, it keeps you from touching your face or whatever. So I've been wearing like I guess controversial masks around, and they're kind of wigging people up. Hold on a second.
Okay. This ought to be good. Todd is diving through his garage right now.
So this is this is my driving mask. I wear this when I'm driving. You know, so so the corona can't get me.
Todd is wearing a werewolf mask.
It's werewolf-esque, really.
Yeah, if you're listening to this via audio, let me describe the scene.
Yeah, I put on a werewolf mask.
That was a great description of that scene.
Right.
Okay. All right. Do you have any more masks to show us?
Yeah. Hold on. This is okay. Yeah. Like I said, this is the mask that I wear when I'm driving. You know?
That's your Monday M.A.S.S?
This is Monday. Okay, hold
Monday
on.
Mask.
I have another. Okay, this is my grocery store. My grocery store.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah. We're just waiting for Todd to do some prop comedy, and he's back.
Okay, this is more of like my grocery store shopping mask.
Okay, this is Todd in his World War II mustard gas mask.
It not only does it protect you from the virus, but it also lets you, kind of live in what you ate last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you just bring it. It smells like rubber, and also what was eaten previously.
And also, whatever soldier wore that.
That's a good point.
Your mouth is touching his mouth.
Smells vaguely like mustard gas.
Does it smell like mustard? All right. And also, we want to.
So these are just a couple.
Chemistry
this is how people.
We want to say chemistry surfboards.
What?
That was your mask bit.
Oh, that was my mask bit. Yeah.
Oh, there's. Okay, good. Now
there's plenty more of those where that came from.
He's got the Todd mask on. Chemistry surfboards has.
Oh, we're on the more. Yes.
Busy throughout this. Todd, I know you've been in direct contact with Jason Bennett, Big Willie, and the crew at Chemistry.
See that one right there? That's Chemistry. These are on point. See, if you're on the podcast right now on the video, you're really missing out if you're not doing the video because I'm pointing.
Todd's got his arm extended in the backwards fashion.
All these Chemistry surfboards.
Looking good. I got a Chemistry surfboard, but it's outside that window in my board shed. So thank you, Chemistry, for the support through this time. We will surf again. Potentially, my heart and my mind and my soul and my body is telling me within the next 3 weeks, I think we're going to be able to surf. But that's just hypothetical.
If you were to ask me to look into my crystal ball and tell you when we would surf again, I'd say soon.
Yeah. Soon meaning?
Eventually.
Quantifiably. 3 weeks. I'm saying 3 weeks, you're saying soon. So hopefully if it happens then, we'll all be out there back on our Chemistry surfboards doing our thing. YouOnline.com. Online.com. Lots of new things happening on you right now. There's an incredible podcast with Chris Cantori and Skip Fry, San Diego and global surfing icons. Skip Fry is on Cantori and you. So if you want to hear some actual, conversation about surfing, about history, all things Skip Fry, he is the guru. He is the master of all. Skip Fry rules. He's on Cantori and you right now, and we will have more news from youonline.com in future episodes. You might be on youonline.com watching this right now. So thank you to You Online. New Greens, Todd. New Greens. You said that New Greens.
Oh, yeah. Chris, for those of us, or those of you that are watching, listening on the podcast, what I am doing now is I am shaking up New Greens.
He's shaking up the New Greens.
There's nothing better that you can do for your body right now than keep your immune system strong, and that is where New Greens comes in. New Greens it's going to be a currency pretty soon, Chris. If this goes on much longer, New Greens will be the new form of currency.
You'll be trading greens for greens, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm going to be wearing assless chaps, a hockey goalie mask with a mullet, drinking my New Greens.
Perfect.
Riding out in the wasteland.
That sounds beautiful.
On my Super 73
That sounds wonderful. Speaking of immunity, and there's something coming for us in the mail, Todd. NanocraftCBD. And
what?
I mean, this is one of those things. This is we talked about companies helping. You talked about Nanogreens right there helping through all this. NanocraftCBD has just launched their newest formula. It is Immune Boost plus CBD. They're soft gels. They contain active ingredients that are clinically proven to strengthen the immune system. Clinically proven to strengthen the immune system. I have this printout here I'm looking at. These are your body's most efficient defense cells. They're called NK cells, I think. You're gonna like this phrase.
Oh,
your body produces secretory immunoglobulin antibodies inside your mucous membranes. That's what she said.
You're full of secrets, Tori.
Improve your gut health. There's dry yeast.
What?
I'm not a scientist, okay? But I just know I trust the people at NanocraftCBD. I trust that when they say they're dropping a new Immune Boost CBD soft gel, that it will work, and I will be taking it. And Todd, we're going to be taking it together.
You know what? I've been doing just for fun, for something to do. Sometimes I'll just take the night CBD in the morning and just let my body fight it out for like an activity.
Tiger Woods used to do something like that. Just a little different of a formula for sex, but it just sounds like you're doing it for just day-to-day activities.
Just something to do. Just try to fight off melatonin all day.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Okay. Todd. Oh man, I can show you something here. This is, can you read that?
Mm-hmm.
It's my underpants. For those of you who can't see it, I'm showing my underpants because our friends at Beneath, BN3TH, using the My Package technology, which Todd, you know full well about My Package technology. So our friends at Beneath, they sent us boxes of underpants to try out. And I've tried every pair. I'm a fan of every pair. My junk, my trunk, everything is in its proper place right now. Mm-hmm. Truly game-changing underpants. And we will have a code for Beneath shortly, probably next week or via our Instagram account. But this is the best underwear you can get. They're not paying us to say that, but the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in my package. Okay.
All right.
So
Chris, we're 20 minutes into this and we haven't even gotten anything important. We got to get through these sponsors quicker.
Super 73 has saved my sanity, Todd. Is it
same? 100% same.
Christ, I needed this thing. I went on a bike ride. I went on a ride last night with my lady after dark around the town. It was incredible. Super 73. I went 22 miles. Socially distant, did not get off and talk to anyone. I'm not like going, but I will say on one charge, I went 23 miles on the bike with my girlfriend on the back. So Super 73,
there you go.
Game-changing technology. You want to get into surf news?
Let's do it.
All right. Surf news, ladies and gentlemen. Surf news is brought to you as always by our friends at Chemistry Surfboards. Hit up at Chemistry Surfboards on Instagram. And if you want to help support the people that support your surfing, support the shapers, support Chemistry Surfboards, order a board, prepay for it if you can. If not, just take a screenshot of a board that you're stoked on and post it up and give them some hype. Chemistry Surfboards. Here we go. So we had some homework. We're going to start it off with talking about John John Florence. John Florence.
What's he up to?
John Florence, let me tell you. No, John recently teamed up with Outside TV for a 4-part series. It's called Vela. So this was basically pre-lockdown, post-John Injury. So when John got hurt, he took a while to heal up. In that healing process, he bought a boat off Travis Rice. Let me back up a little bit. John John bought Travis Rice's old boat. Travis Rice did a similar journey to an island, to the Line Islands, a place called the Palmyra Atoll. This is, I wouldn't say it's a secret spot because you can't get there unless you sail for like a month. And I'm not doing that. And I'm sure most of you are not. So basically John and a crew, Nathan, his brother, they took a 30-day sailing trip to these Pacific Line Islands, trying to find waves, and they found adventure. Mm-hmm. And I think it's pretty cool that John. Oh, I mean, obviously it's cool to jump on a sailboat with friends and just sail straight out into the open ocean, which is so scary to me. But I think it's rad that it was done with purpose. It was done to, not only explore and get that sense of adventure, but also to, showcase ocean awareness, to put a spotlight on how fragile the ocean is, the ecosystem surrounding it. And, I think for a guy like John, who's basically kind of become like this, I don't know, modern day adventurer, he's like the guy.
He's like the guy now, as far as if you have the means, you might as well go out there and explore.
Have you ever been on the open ocean, Todd?
Yeah, I have a picture of that of last time I was out on the open ocean. Would you like to check it out?
Yeah, let's see this picture.
Okay.
Here's Todd on the open ocean.
Here is me on the open ocean. There's me in the middle. Okay, this is the last time I went out on the open ocean. I went out for a 3-hour tour, and then, next thing you know, I'm just on this weird island, and for some reason,
it looked a lot. It feels a lot like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
What do I know?
There are a lot of similarities.
Now, if you're stranded on an island with the professor, Marianne, mm-hmm. And what are the rest of their names?
Gilligan, Professor, Marianne, the
professor, the skipper, the skipper too,
Mr.
Howell, and Mrs.
and his
Howell.
wife, yeah,
and Ginger. Now, I would think that after being on an island with them for just a little bit, there would be some horseplay.
Well, I thought there was always kind of like weird horseplay going on. There was always like other people in the mix. There's always other people in the mix on that island.
Well, when the Harlem Globetrotters came to Gilligan's Island,
right? How is it that everyone can always get to the island except no one can get off? It's kind of like Lost. It was actually like the template for the show Lost.
It seemed like people could get on and off easily, except for the main crew of the what is the ship called?
The SS Minnow.
The SS Minnow. They're not good at navigating.
So basically, Lost is just a remake of Gilligan's Island.
Right, with ghosts.
Right.
Was there ghosts on Lost?
Keep moving on. What else we got?
Okay. I know you're a big fan of Austin Gillette and Craig Anderson and Dane Reynolds. Well, there's a brand new film directed by Dane Reynolds, starring Craig Anderson and Ben Howard. It's called Nonsense. And it's painful, it's bittersweet, but it's also awesome how many insanely good video drops are happening right now. And if this whole thing if the pandemic wasn't happening and all these videos came out at the same time, it would be kind of unprecedented. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it's all happening within this and nobody can surf it's hurtful, but at the same time, it's filling the Stoke.
It's pandemonium, really, Chris, is what you're saying.
It's filling the Stoke bone. And I watched Nonsense starring Craig Anderson. It's beautiful. The music's good. I wish I could surf with that Craig Anderson style knock-kneed like that. I don't know how he lands big airs knock-kneed. That's a rarity in itself. But that's a must-see film. Do you have any former clothing, Todd?
No, I have a whole bunch of old Summer Teeth Dane clothing. I don't have any former clothing.
I have a Summer Teeth shirt. I don't have anything former, but I do like their stuff. I might buy a former shirt. What do you think of that?
Pretty hip.
I'll buy one.
All right.
I'm buying one.
Okay.
No discount.
What else? What else we got?
All right. Well, Surfer Magazine every month they put together their list of top 10 videos of the month, clips of the month. They call it their top 10 clips of the month. I'm going to start with number 10, and we're not going to show all these. We could show you a couple of them, but let me just. You've probably seen them on Instagram, so it's redundant. But Imogen Caldwell, Western Australia, had an insane clip. Crosby Colapinto, Griffin Colapinto, Nick Marshall, pre-lockdown. Mick Fanning and Mikey Wright had a crazy one. Cam Richards had some out of control combinations. Grant Twiggy Baker, obviously big wave. Russell Bierke, scary, Shipstern Bluff. Albee Layer comes in at number 2 for clips of the month in March. Albee had a little post-knee surgery, pre-COVID lockdown window where he went back to Maui and kind of went nuts. I'm sure you've talked to Albee about his little mini comeback video part.
About his nuts?
Not his nuts.
Oh. But about going nuts.
Should we cold call Albee?
Do you think he's... What time is it in Hawaii? You cold call him.
I'll cold call him. So for those of you who haven't watched the show or watched it, here we go. We're cold calling Albee Layer.
I feel like I should cold call him too and see who he answers. Make it a contest. Please hold. Who still has that?
Oh, is it Monday?
Oh my gosh, it is Monday.
Oh, there he is.
It is Monday.
Hi.
We got Albee Layer on the phone. Albee, we're triple dipping here. We got video going. We got freaking editing, headphones.
You guys are getting after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing good. We're actually talking about you getting your clip of the month on Surfer Magazine and how excited we were, Todd and I, for you to not only recover, but get right back at it. Give us the brief time frame between knee surgery, kind of your recovery, and filming the video part that you did in Maui last month.
It was hip surgery, by the way.
Todd said knee. I said hip.
Yeah.
That was your ankle, though.
I didn't say that at all, really.
That's all. Dude. Once you go higher up, you go, the worse it is. So, yeah, everything hurts below it. I got hip surgery. I got 2 of them on both hips. And I think it was like a year ago, like today, or like yesterday or something.
Oh my God, happy anniversary.
Thanks, I know. The new hip feels great. Yeah, so there's like one in, what was it? Yeah, it was like one in March, one in April. And then probably like 5 or 6 months before I could like kind of be comfortable surfing again.
Obviously it changes the approach, but for you, what did it change about your surfing? Do you had to kind of think about, how you're landing more? Like what is the effect? Because the video looks amazing. I mean, if you didn't know that you had surgery before and after, you wouldn't know. But for you, what was the difference?
I started like prepping a lot more. That was the only difference. Because I don't want to change how I surf. That sucks.
You just like stretch and stuff now?
Yeah. I started actually full gym dude.
Yeah.
But I don't put it on my Instagram, so no one knows.
Oh, we need we need to see some of those workouts where they actually don't count.
Yeah. No, I was going to this guy. I have this girl here, Lindsay, who I work with, and then B Project in Carlsbad, and they kind of got me back to 100%. Probably way better than 100% at one point.
Hell yes. So what's next for 110% Albee Layer? What can we expect to see with that type of bionic behavior?
I don't know. You can't film surfing in Maui anymore. No one can surf.
So. Oh shit!
Wait, I thought you still could.
Yeah, they're regulating people sitting on their beach, so you can still surf here, which is awesome. But
but you can't. You can surf, but you can't film.
Yeah, you can't have anyone on the beach. There's no one hanging on the beach, but even just one person will kick off.
Damn. Well, we're just gonna use our imagination and just imagine what Albee Layer is doing right now in Maui. And oh my God, You're ripping.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm
see
ripping,
it.
dude.
I see it. You are ripping.
Let me tell you about it.
I can't wait. Hey, thanks for
I'll
picking
write
up
that.
thanks for picking up our cold call. You're the best.
No worries. Bye, you guys.
We love
Bye.
you. We miss you.
Yep.
Nora says hey.
Hi. Oh yeah, she's there.
So, he said Nora says hi.
Yeah.
So we've just discovered one fatal flaw in our new audio visual setup. Is
we could. He who couldn't hear me?
Albee could not hear you.
He couldn't hear me?
No, because I have headphones on.
Oh, you idiot!
I was holding the phone by the microphone.
I was trying to get him to. I was trying to get him to zoom in too, but then I forgot. This is new. This is exciting. There's all kinds of horseplay going on in here.
There is. All right, we got to burn through some surf news right here.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. The Cloudbreak Tower was torn down by a cyclone. So in unrelated to COVID disastrous news, the Cloudbreak Tower was torn down by a cyclone. That happened.
Crazy.
They'll rebuild it. Fijians are badass. They can walk right across the reef carrying telephone poles on their back, barefoot. They don't give a shit.
Let's hold on for a second, because that in all of those giant swells, nothing happened to the tower. So right. Cyclone must have just been putting so much water on that reef. That's crazy.
When we used to commentate the Globe events,
sure,
for the first couple of years, we actually commentated it from the tower, and as glamorous as it appeared,
it's just sea snakes and shit.
Oh my god, I slept in bird shit. 2 hours on, 2 hours off, 2 hour nap in bird shit, 2 hours talking about surfing. I do not personally miss the tower.
No,
but I know it will be rebuilt, and it'll probably be better than ever, and there will be less bird shit on it. What would you? I've heard there's a couple surfers. I think Brisa Hennessy is actually quarantined herself on Namotu Island.
What?
And
I think you would go. That's the experiment, where you kind of joke around, what would happen if I got stuck at Tavarua for a long time?
For a month.
I think you would start to slowly go, well, Namotu is a different story. Tavi's got kind of a little more to do. Namotu's pretty small and pretty bare.
I mean, I think it would almost feel like you're in Tavarua or Namotu back in the 1970s, because no one else is coming out to surf, so it's kind of privatized again.
Right. Actually, that would be pretty cool.
I would definitely start drinking again if I was on one of those islands. Sorry, I don't have that kind of willpower. Speaking of willpower, it takes a lot of will, Todd, to load up your dinghy and drive across the open sea for an hour all the way to Lower Trestles.
Oh my God.
Only to get blown out by a set wave and have to be rescued and arrested and fined. We're talking about Lower's Invasion Part 2, the final shocker.
I mean, this whole thing was so nuts, and if you followed along a little bit about the story, as all kind of surfers have been, it's so crazy that these guys, number one, rolled out there, thought they had it, they're just going to jump out and surf for a couple waves, and then next thing you know, the anchor didn't set, and a set wave broke way outside the boat, and the boat was washed in, the dudes were washed in, the state park guys were there, the police were there.
Everyone I've talked to knows these guys too.
Yeah, but it's weird though that these guys didn't get they kind of just got, they had got a broken boat, their boat was jacked and they had to pay a whole bunch of money to get their boat towed out of there, but pretty much for the most part, they just got embarrassment as a punishment.
I want to say though, it's probably going to be about a $20,000 surf trip. For $20,000, you could go to Indo, you could go to Mentawais for a month on the sickest boat ever.
Well, they got one wave. So it was like $20,000 wave. So it was kind of like going to Kelly's.
And they got the wrong, they didn't even wait for the set. The worst part about it.
So heavy.
You want to hear some good news? I got some good news for you in surfing.
Go.
So surfboard shapers have been pitching in. Chris Christensen actually was part of a group of shapers that gathered a lot of their not respirators, masks, gloves, all the stuff that they had ordered for this month. And they actually were able to donate all of those supplies to hospitals.
I thought that was, that is really cool.
So that's something, selfless that's come out of this. And this is random news, but this is really cool. You know the Canadian homie, Ripper, Peter DeVries?
Mm-hmm.
Pete DeVries was one of the Hurley team riders that felt the axe of globalization. That's not the right word. Felt the axe of downsizing on Hurley, but actually one-upped it. He is now sponsored by Arc'teryx.
Oh, wow.
How sick is that? So for those of you who don't know, Todd, tell us what Arc'teryx is and how sick this would be to be sponsored by.
Arc'teryx is like, lives in the same kind of family as like North Face.
But it's almost like a more badass North Face, right?
Yeah, it probably depends on who you ask, but it's very, in the mountaineering community, in the outdoor lifestyle community, Arc'teryx is like, it's up there. It's way up there. So that's pretty insane that they're even getting into surf.
Yeah.
Well, good. That's some good news because everyone else seems to be dropping out of surf. So that's cool. So check this out, Chris. I want to show you something. This is, our Surf News is sponsored by Chemistry Surfboards, and this is something this morning that popped up. That these guys, we lost before all this shit went down. We lost Kobe Bryant, and I mean, it was like their tribute to Kobe is right there. The Lakers surfboard. You see that?
Oh,
so
no
basically, it's a colorway. It's a Kobe Bryant tribute surfboard in the Lakers colorway. And, obviously it's like a 1 of 1, but I'm sure you could get one if you wanted one. But it's pretty dope, dude. Like to see that. And there's going to be a lot of creativity that comes out of this whole quarantine thing. So that's, it's just good to see that there's some positive shit happening.
Hey, I like that. And
right.
Speaking of positive shit, looking at the notes we have here, just want to remind everybody, WSL The Vault is a really fun way to look back at in time and some of your favorite events. Right now, we've got the 2008 Rip Curl Pro Search in Uluwatu, Bruce Irons, Tiago Perez, Freddie Patachia, Kelly Slater going switch stance, a really fun watch. And on a personal note, hey, check out WSL Surf Breaks and World Surf Weekly. That was an unapproved advertisement via me, and I muted Todd so he couldn't talk during that. Okay, you're unmuted.
I'd like to, just another thing that we should probably talk about because it's been hot button of, recently with the whole lockdown of everything. It was that article that was published by that woman a few weeks ago about how, she wouldn't go into the ocean for $1 million.
Everybody's favorite doctor, Dr. Kim.
Yes. So Dr. Kim. So there's been a lot of pushback on that by actual virologists and the public at large, the surfing public at large. And she issued a retraction of her whole thing on Facebook, basically saying that the LA Times took what she said out of context.
Yeah. And
there's been there was a guy protesting at the Cardiff Kook the other day
it happened all weekend. Yeah.
Right. Like there's a lot of pushback and I guess it's a big opinion piece right now to surf or not to surf. That is the question. And
to surf or not to surf.
Yeah. Alas, poor York and doing well. Okay. So, but anyway, that's a question. So, what do you guys think?
I'm not.
Hit us up. Well, obviously because we can't. But the water does look like turd soup right now. So you wouldn't want to go in there anyways. There's a lot of poopy that went in the water this weekend. But
the waves are horse shit right now anyway. So
right. Anyways, I just thought that was worthy of mention because it's literally everywhere I look is people, giving their opinions on it. So
and that's your science minute from Todd Richards.
That's right.
Science. All right, I just sent an invite to this call to our friend Mike Burnett from Thrasher Magazine.
Oh, so we're going to skate news. Time for skate
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to skate news. And wow, what perfect timing. Mike Burnett is connected to audio. Mike, do you have video? Can you connect via video?
Oh, wow. There he is.
Oh my God, we're really doing it, you guys. We're really doing it.
This is what happens. Right? Hello, Michael.
Hello.
What's happening in your quarantine area?
Well, Todd, I work from home.
Oh,
and I have for 20 years. So feels very familiar, wildly familiar.
Just a Monday.
Gosh, you have the funnest stuff though at your office. I mean,
I know. I'm like looking in the background, like seeing what I can see in there.
See, I had a meeting the other day, and I realized this thing was making me look like I had a cool hat. This is the this is the tongue from the dragon from the dirt board race from King of the Road. My wife showed this.
Oh my God, your wife made that?
Yeah. So I cannot dare part with it, although I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
Oh my gosh, you could dress up like a mermaid. That could be a new mermaid tail.
Like a weird mermaid.
If you wanted to. All right, Mike, we got you. Let's get to some business. Obviously, 2020 has been a kick in the nuts for so many different reasons. Let's start with the hard stuff, and then we'll go to the fun stuff. We want to talk to you about the one and only Jeff Grosso. I mean, he was a man who was a force of nature, a voice unlike any other in skateboarding. I know directly influenced me recently. I mean, up until just a month ago, this was the guy that I worked with that was so intimidating, and he was a hero, and just everything you wanted and everything you didn't want in a co-host of an event if you're broadcasting. But God damn it, he was just the raddest guy. Total wild card. Just amazing. But you tell us about Jeff Grosso, and I know you guys just recently finished. I saw a photo of a cover that you guys had of Jeff, but what do you guys have planned coming up for to memorialize a guy that is impossible to encapsulate in words or photos?
Yeah. So we were lucky. We got the news Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. But anyway,
as we see right here, Grosso, from Lance's.
It was the day before we went to press, and so we were able to swap out and finally give Grosso his cover. So that was cool. That was super neat. But now we're gonna do a proper memorial article, which I'm unfortunately getting real good at.
Ugh.
These memorial articles with all of our legends keep dying. So hopefully this is the last one for a while. Yeah, so we'll do. I've been talking to all his friends, sending out emails, texting, direct messaging, collecting photos. We just want to put a nice piece together so his close friends can tell stories. You know how he was such an incredible storyteller, so we're trying to get people to tell stories rather than just eulogize, because he lived large, this Jeff Grosso.
Yeah. Mike, you and I, come from that kind of same generation of just when vert skating and when guys like Grosso were pretty much, they were gods, and I was, just had that stuff from Future Primitive up on from Lance's Jam. And that's pretty much when I was introduced to Grosso. Between that and like those old, is it NSA skate videos where they would just show the contest videos and you would just get those and be, he's always been like the funny dude. And, it's just crazy. He's like larger than life back then, and just the best freaking graphics ever, like on his boards.
He was the complete package in that he was a really rad skater, had a memorable name, had the graphics that followed him and kind of accentuated his personality. So you can't separate those great graphics, a lot of them drawn by Lucero, and then a lot of Jim Phillips ones. And that was just, those were the Led Zeppelin albums of skateboarding. Like, you just looked at this graphic for 20 years, just tripping on it. Then, you know, he was the, when we were kids, he was in the Speed Freaks video bragging about how he lies around all day and then gets a paycheck. And then he shakes his gloves off. And then, you know, you remember his run from Savannah Slamma when he did the lay back to elbow. He put his arms into his sleeves. Yeah, so you just saw him as like a punker, one of the ultimate punkers, but he could also rip. And then it was a huge thrill for me when I got the job at Thrasher to get to meet him and be friends with him. And I built a whole trip around getting to go skate with Grosso. We went to Oregon with Lance and Stu Graham, Rattray, and Keegan Sauter. That's that issue with the Keegan cover, doing the frontside air. And that was strictly because, oh my God, I can go on a trip with Lance Mountain and Jeff Grosso.
It's so sick.
Isn't it strange to be, I mean, in the position that we're all in as being skate nerds and super fans, and then you get to meet your heroes, and it's more like, it's you know, it's more than, hey, shake your hand and nice to meet you. You actually get to be with them. And I mean, I would pinch myself all the time standing next to Jeff Grosso, Tony Hawk, you know, Cab, whoever at the Vans Park Series events, just going, oh my God, am I like friends with these guys?
Yeah. And I mean, that's how you must feel standing next to Todd on a regular day.
That's what this feels like right now.
But when you're next to Grosso, you are actually like, am I friends with this guy? Like,
you're also kind of scared.
You can't really tell, like, if you're
That's
friends
the
with
other
this guy.
thing too, is the tradition that we grew up with, where the older guys were dicks.
Yeah.
And you were scared of them, and you wanted to win them over and win their favor by ripping, but not coming on too strong. It was this tightrope of trying to negotiate that, and then that was before everyone's okay, everything's rad. Yeah. So it's a nice throwback to when you were scared of your heroes, because as children, how old was Mike McGill? I don't know, 38,
right?
58. Nobody knew. They were adults, bigger than life.
They're grown-ups.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cannot wait to. I'm going to pick up the brand new issue with Grosso on the cover, and can't wait to see the big issue with all the Grosso stories. Thank you. Oh, there we go. The image.
And that's at Bryce's ramp, right?
Oh, that's at the Hunters Point ramp.
Hunters Point ramp. Yeah, that's right.
Coincidentally, the same ramp as Jake's cover.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's nuts.
Death ramp, they call it.
Wow, they do now. Jeez, crazy.
Well, can't wait for both those issues to be in my hands.
So that's the confusing part, is that the one with Grosso on the cover doesn't actually have the Grosso article in it. So you have to keep buying.
That's fine.
Of course, we all subscribe, so it's fine.
Look,
I do.
It's one of the only magazines left. Are you kidding me? Like, it's easy to do that.
And one thing, so again, thank you. Can't wait for those 2 Grosso issues. But one thing that came into my mailbox and basically exploded everything, and then it exploded my computer, was the A.M.S. Scramble, the latest A.M.S. Scramble. Another hammer in the canon of Thrasher magazine. I mean, those trips to me look like you're sending a SWAT team out into, they're always somewhere like deep south weird. It looks almost like it's a foreign country within America, but every time, I mean, you have 10 skaters on the latest, and it's like Voltron. They all have special powers, but when they all get together, they create absolute skateboarding magic. And again, how do you pick this crew? And when all is said and done, what did A.M.S. Scramble 2019, how did that sit for you in the history of A.M.S. Scrambles?
Well, this was the 3rd one. This whole thing is just me trying to make my life easier. So there's a secret, don't let this get out. that a lot of pro skaters do their best skating in the first 17 to 38 months of their exposure. It would be hard. You know, I saw it with Mark Appleyard. I saw it with Arto. Of course, they came back as legends and had these high points, but when they were fresh on the scene, they were unstoppable, just complete animals. So I'm always trying to maximize my time out there, and I like to be excited. So most of my projects are like, how can I jam as much action into this short window as possible? So that's the same story as King of the Road. That's the same story with the AM Scramble. But it was like, at the time when we did it, there was like so many of these weird amateur contests. There was like, this one was like Latin soccer and skating. And this one, there was like competing skate park of Tampa spinoffs, you know? And I was just like, are these contests that fun? Do people like these? I'm sure they do. Obviously, they're the best. But I was like, why don't we just go on a trip? Let's just go pick out the guys. So the first year was like, that was with Big Boy Foy and all those guys, Winkowski. And it was a slaughter, man. Ducky, like those guys were maniacs. So it set the level super duper high. But each year, the formula is just trying to find a nice variety, you know? But at the same time, like, if you can't get people who are too sensitive or too picky, because it's gonna be mostly maniacs.
Right.
So you don't want to bring somebody who just wants to film chill lines up and down curbs, which is cool. But for the Scramble, it's definitely kind of more action packed. So this year, yeah, it was super killer. We had Breezy from Vancouver. She's fantastic. Beanwater, who I barely met before. That's the other thing, is this is also a trick for me to get to meet a bunch of the new guys all in one shot, because I'm not in the streets as much as I used to be.
It was like a Zoom chat before Zoom chats.
Just in the van. And then the reason why we go to the Deep South is because we have to go where Sinclair's willing to drive.
Oh.
He doesn't fly. He doesn't fly, and he doesn't like a lot of things.
Okay.
So we usually go to him. So we did North Carolina, Florida, and then Texas. So yeah.
And also because no one else is going there, so you have the whole place.
It's also in November. It's the same curse as the Sodi trip. You have to go somewhere that's going to be fairly warm.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's a good one. That one's super fun.
Hey, switching gears for a second, Mike. So Tony Hawk's on Vans. What do you think?
Yeah.
You ever think you'd see Tony Hawk on Vans?
Well,
that was quite casual.
They had me shoot the photos, so I knew a couple months ago.
Oh, you should have texted us.
But still, though, I mean, yeah, like Tony was on Vans back, like way back when everyone was, in like the very early Palo video days. But, like,
I don't know all the facts. So I'm actually, after this call, I'm going to interview him for a web piece called his History of Tony Hawk Footwear.
Oh, okay.
I think it's sick that, you know, these skateboarders are still putting together their portfolios and sending them out to companies. I would assume Tony Hawk has a pretty solid resume, and his sponsorship tape is probably pretty good.
I think he's good. He's got it now.
Curriculum vitae.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, you know the question I asked him. Did you tell Cab yet?
Oh, God.
Apparently, it's all good.
Wow.
All good.
All right.
He said he sidled up to him and goes, "Welcome to the team." Or sorry, what's up, teammate?
Bro. Wow.
He was totally cool with it. So yeah, you know how these legends are.
Yeah, but he has to wear half cabs for the first 6 months.
Yeah, he was wearing them. They looked crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's rad.
What's your favorite era of Tony Hawk shoes?
Mine?
Yeah.
I mean the Airwalk days for sure.
Yeah.
Like the Airwalk, the prototype. Yeah, the prototypes.
Lace savers.
Yeah. I never had those in my town, but I dreamed of them.
Oh, well, like, it was cool because it was just getting me ready for snowboard boots.
You know what? I wonder if the lace savers were inspired by Tony's bangs.
They were.
His face is the lace is his.
You should ask Tony Mag that question. Isn't Tony Mag bringing back lace savers? We'll leave that for another show.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, we know you're busy. You've got stuff to do. You've got mermaid tails to put on and interviews with Tony Hawk. Tell Tony Hawk we said hello. He's a huge fan of this show, so I'm sure he's just
probably listening right now.
Yeah.
He might be.
Yeah.
He might be.
Okay.
Hey,
well, thanks you guys.
Mike.
I appreciate it.
Bye, Mike.
Love you.
See ya.
See you. Mike Burnett, ladies and gentlemen.
He's not late. I just said I love you.
Say it back. Say it back. No, you don't have to. But do it.
I love you, dude. That just kind of came out. I actually, you know what though? I do love Mike. I'm gonna say that.
There you go.
Love that dude.
Cool.
Okay, so in other skate news, I mean, we just basically got the golden goblet of skate news.
Mm-hmm.
So I think other than that, I mean, you can't really go anywhere after that. Oh yeah, one more piece of good news.
What's that?
2 more pieces of good news. I want to send a shout out to Etnies for donating. For the last 23 years, Etnies has been donating shoes to the homeless of Los Angeles, and they're doing it again this year. They're not doing their big Easter event, but what they're going to do is hopefully this year they're going to reach their all-time goal of 50,000 shoes donated to homeless in LA. So I think that's awesome. And lastly, I wanted to say that Stomp Sessions has Chris Cole teaching you basic skate tricks.
Okay, that's good because you're at home.
You can go, yeah. You can. I saw this on, I believe, I forget where I saw it, but Chris Cole right now is online on Stomp Sessions, and I think the trick of the day today is a heel flip, which is actually really good because I do not know how to heel flip. I do not know how to heel flip. Do you know how to heel flip, Todd?
That's all I got.
Can you do a heel flip right now?
Yes.
Behind you? Okay. I'm gonna talk us through it because I haven't commentated skateboarding in a while, so this is gonna be good practice for me. All right. Well, your chair's in the way.
I'm wearing slippers.
Your chair's in the way. All right. Coming up next, hailing from Encinitas, California, it's Todd Richards with a heel flip. This is gonna be great.
Done. Perfect.
And he makes it. It's a make for a 19.7. Hey,
I'm wearing slippers, dude.
That was so bad. You need to go on Stomp Sessions and find Chris Cole and learn that heel flip.
I got heel flips. I got all kinds of flips.
Skateboarding news was brought to you by Adventure.io. You ready to move on into snowboarding?
Yeah, snowboard news.
Oh my gosh, snowboarding news is brought to you by K2 Snowboarding. And it's exciting because while most of snowboarding is canceled, the snowboarding video stuff is not. There's plenty of stuff saved up via video for snowboarding. And should I call our next special guest?
Yeah, let's get him on the progie.
We got
to move this along, Chris. This has already been like a 4-hour podcast.
Well, that's standard operating procedure, SOP. Okay. I have sent an invitation to our next guest. We will announce it when he does come on here, if he does come on here. Snowboard News is brought to you by K2 Snowboarding. Todd, you have a friend. I have a friend. I became friends with him via our podcast, but you've been friends with him for a long time. I'm talking about Stan, the last resort with Stan, the quarantine edition.
It's great because, he took on a job at Snowboarder Magazine, and we kind of lost the whole Stan, last resort with Stan because he had like a big boy job. And now, he's back. He decided to drop a quarantine edition of the last resort to keep everyone happy. And I think it came out really good. And it makes you realize how much you miss Stan's commentating on everything. And it's pretty sick. He definitely he touches on like everything that's happening in the industry, currently. It's really cool. I just, Stan's one of those dudes. He's an important piece of snowboarding. As you see right here, this is Stan. He does a lot of special effecting in his videos. Look at that, he flying. Obviously his budget is a lot higher than ours. And
we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. I mean, we're on Zoom, but yeah. So
we're on the internet.
So he's got all of his it's great. Last Resort with Stan was back for the quarantine edition, and hopefully, he will be bored because I know he's got nothing going on. No one is going snowboarding, so maybe there'll be another one.
Have you heard of anybody? Our guest just texted me. Have you heard of anybody of people hiking or snowmobiling?
Yeah, I have, and I mean, it absolutely has been dumping on the West Coast, like crazy snowing as of recently, and ski resorts are closed, and everyone's kind of fiending to get out there and get some. Let me share this with you guys right now on the screen. This is an image from Mount Baldy this past weekend, and this is, if you've ever been to Baldy, this is in one of the gullies, and this is a very, very big avalanche, and
that's scary.
It is really scary. That is a deep avy. The conditions are prime right now to have it slide, really deep, because there's been no one skiing across anything. There's been, a lot of crazy wind. The temperatures have been all over the place, but people are getting the goods. I mean, it's, if you go out there and you're responsible and you know your shit and you're not taking any crazy risks, then, you can get the goods. And I'll share another video with you right now. This is actually pretty cool. This is my buddy, Andrew Mariner. He was actually my team manager at Quicksilver for a little bit. And, Andrew's been scoring as well. He's been been out there getting some. I don't know where this is, but
it looks like the desktop of your computer to me.
Oh, sorry. Let me get out of that, and I'll just pop in.
Our guest is here. Our special guest is here.
But wait, look at the snowboarding. It's cool. Can you see that now? Now can you see snowboarding?
No, take it off. We got to talk to our guest.
All right.
Our guest is here.
Hi, Craig McMorris.
Gentlemen, how are we?
Hi. Hello.
Craig McMorris is on the Monday M.A.S.S. What's up, Craig? Welcome.
Hi. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
We're learning how to use Zoom, and it's cool because it's like you trying to teach your grandparents how to use Zoom. So we're learning as we're on the phone with you. So which is great.
That's fun. We're all in this together because I am new to Zoom as well, and wonderful technology, really.
Craig, so where are you? What are you doing right now?
What's going on? What are you wearing?
Ooh, good question. Age, sex, location. 28. I'm in Whistler, BC. Rather not say. For those, where are you guys?
We're in Encinitas. Is there snow on the ground?
We're like a block away from each other.
Yeah, we live close, but we're quarantining. We're safe.
Okay, good. Stay safe.
Is it snowing? Are you going to the backcountry? What's going on?
No, me and Mark Solers were having a chat about it. Like I'll go and just like sled and maybe do a fun run or something like that. But I like building a booter and, jumping and trying to film, I don't think would be really smart, but, and I'm not even going out that much. I'll go at like once a week just to, do a little peruse and check that out. But you know what I've been doing, gentlemen, is I built the sauna.
Oh, just whip that out?
Yeah. Mark, it's so funny. Mark texted me the other day. It's like, hey, keep your eyes open. I got a sauna sent to the house. And I'm like, okay, where do you want to put it? Like, what? He's like, yeah, just try and build it if you can. So I was like, all right. So I built it. It's come together really nice, but I'm not an electrician. We've got to wire in a heater. So that's kind of been my project here.
What, learning how to be an electrician?
That's where you need to be careful.
Yeah. No, I'm staying away from the wires. I'm a tongue and groove guy here.
Okay, good.
Damn, your brother sent you a sauna. My brother came over last night, took my propane tank, used the whole thing up, and then left it like out in the street, basically. So we have very different types of brothers.
Was he trying to send a message or what?
I don't know what happened there. So, hey, Craig, we want to say congratulations. Top 5 finisher, finalist for X Games Real Snow. What was it like to get an invite like that into one of snowboarding's heaviest gauntlets? I mean, that video contest historically has always been filled with hammers. So tell us what it was like to get the invite and then go out and start filming.
It's funny. So this was my second year, and the first year you kind of almost like ignorance is bliss. I know it was hard because I've been working with Anto Chamberlain, and he'd been in it for a number of years. So last year was my first year, and I kind of just went for it. Got lucky, like didn't really get that broke off. And this year I like started filming. I knew how hard it was going to be, and snow was a challenge. Like everywhere we went, there was no snow. So we had to drive like 8 hours to some random town in Northern Ontario. And I broke my ribs, like the first spot. And then Anto broke his leg the next day. And like, it was so like the chips were against us, you know, like
snowboarding is so cool.
Dude, it's so fun and sick all the time. But I mean, you can complain about it like that, but like just the honor of getting invited is, you're like, whoa, you know, it's like it's a really big feather in the cap, and it means a lot to me. So I was stoked to do it again this year. Obviously, way more challenges and stuff like that, but I don't know. Everybody killed it too. You know, you're always speculating like who's gonna, you know, this guy's probably gonna do this or this guy's probably gonna do this, but you watch all the videos and everybody just like rode really solid and put together really good parts.
That's rad.
Insane.
Yeah.
So what did you think of so Rene Renekongas took it home? What's your impression on Rene's winning video?
You know, it's funny because I was talking to him through the whole time, and he was always like, I have nothing. I haven't filmed anything. It's really hard. Like he was doing X Games. Like we both had to go to X Games and stuff like that. So that eats up a lot of time. And he's like, I don't have anything. And I was like, okay, but I know how good he is. And then when you see his video, you're just like, what are you talking about? You have like the craziest shots ever, you know, like the double Miller flip and like, oh, so much.
It's crazy when you're like that understated of a human being that, you know, you think you suck, and then everyone else has a completely different opinion of your riding. So
I mean, he's so sorry to interrupt you, Todd. He is so good. Like he is so good. He could compete in the X Games in half pipe. He could do slope style. He can win X Games real snow. I mean, like he is one of my favorite snowboarders in the world right now. Yeah,
he's great. So I mean, what else what are you doing besides building saunas? Like, are you creating content? Like what's your schedule like right now? Because you're in the same boat as we are, kind of. Like you're a broadcast guy. All of a sudden, all the broadcast stuff dries up. What is going on right now for you?
You know what? I have a show on Instagram Live every day at 5 p.m. West Coast time, 8 p.m. East Coast. I have a guest on, and it's called Happy Hour. And we just kind of, you know, shoot the breeze for 15 to 30 minutes and just like talk about what they're into, what they're up to, all that kind of stuff. So I've been enjoying doing that, just like having conversations with people. And then the other thing today I did is I moved, I don't know if I can flip my screen. Anyways, here, I moved all the furniture downstairs, and we were doing gymnastic routines on the carpet there. So,
wow.
I mean, I'm pretty busy right now.
That seems to be, it seems to be something that's trending, is like the jump from the sofa onto the little foam roller, then roll across the carpet, and then do a kickflip, and then backflip onto the dryer. And then that's like a thing now. It's fun. Don't film it. You don't need to show everybody all the things that you do in your house, you know? Sorry. So I know it's almost like you're just kind of like blowing your wad early. Like that shit comes like month 6 of quarantine.
Yeah.
Don't show it all right now.
No.
Maybe you could do Todd, we could put all our kids in a different Zoom chat, and Craig could do the what is it called? Gymnasium teacher
parkour.
I was thinking, Gymboree. We could do Gymboree with Craig McMorris. That can be in a separate Zoom. So we'll do that before your live show at 4:00. So just be ready for that, Craig.
Right.
Wonderful. I love it.
All the kids of Encinitas are going to be tuning in.
Okay. Are we theming this?
Yes. No, it's private.
Whatever. Western.
Private. We're going to just leave our kids with you for an hour.
I'm just babysitting over Zoom.
No, we call it maybe sitting, because maybe you're paying attention to them, maybe you're not. You know?
Maybe you're just in the sauna. I don't know.
Maybe sitting.
I don't know if the kids should come into the sauna with you, but like whatever. Like it's different. It's Canada. It's I don't know.
Yeah, we'll put the phone outside.
It can be a whole thing.
Rules are different up there.
It's all different.
All right.
Hey,
well,
congratulations again on the X Games real snow part. For real.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
No worries. Well, have good luck with your electrical work. Wear rubber gloves or something. Is that proctology? It's one of those two. It's either electrician or proctologist is where you wear the gloves.
Have you wired anything in your life?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just make sure that your fuse box, and for real, make sure your fuse box is turned off. Have a voltage detector. Make sure you don't have any current running through that. You know.
Call a professional.
That's right. And then go on YouTube.
You didn't even write down those notes.
No. Electricians are not smart. Just go on YouTube. You'll find anything you'll need on there. Right. You can do anything.
I love it.
Do anything.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Good luck.
Bye, Craig.
Send us reports from the sauna.
I will. Thanks for having me on Monday M.A.S.S, boys. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You're welcome. See you later.
Cheers.
Yeah, that was Craig McMorris.
Yeah, finally we got a real pro. I mean, that is we've had two professional talkers on the show today, not including us.
I know.
And Albee was professional too. Okay, we got to keep going.
Let's move on to nerd news.
As always, we are just blasting through nerd news, brought to you by Pannikin Coffee and Tea. And we're going to start nerd news talking about Westworld. What up,
Westworld!
Out west. Pannikin is there, and he's doing stuff with robots. I'm not sure he's had sex with any robots, but he might have sex with a robot on Westworld coming soon.
Nerd news is brought to you by Pannikin Coffee and Tea. You're only what?
You're only panicking. You're panicking.
You're only panicking if you don't have it. What's going on behind you?
The opening scene of Westworld was filmed 2 blocks that way.
That's right.
No joke. I'm pointing west.
That's the big cement house.
I'm so
it's
far.
Called isn't it? It's called the Roundhouse, right, or something like that.
But it's a triangle.
No, but it has like a name.
I don't know.
It's like the
Westworld.
round.
It's Westworld House from now on. Yeah, totally. It's right up there.
I haven't seen.
I've loved this season so far. By the way,
I haven't seen it, but it is a bit of a mind melter.
If you're gonna get baked and watch Westworld, you're gonna have to plan on watching it twice, not from experience. But some people have said that.
Hey, Chris. You know what I'm really excited about? And I want to open up nerd news with this because we both haven't seen the latest episode of Westworld, so we can't even get into that.
Okay.
However, this morning, there was a little bit of leakage online of the new Dune. Dune movie.
Personal leakage.
Right. So I'm gonna attempt to share a photo again. I didn't go well with the video before, but
Here we go.
We're gonna flip it and go
for it.
We're going for it right now. Tell me if this shares. Tell me.
Oh yes.
Tell me if this shares. Booyah. Okay, so this is. I don't know who the actor is. I really currently don't care because I really like the David Lynch version of this movie. But this is the actor that's playing Paul Atreides, and he's leaving to go to Arrakis to go to the.
Is this a sequel or a prequel?
No, it's a redo of Dune. A reboot of Dune. And I mean, did you like the David Lynch version?
One of my all-time favorite movies.
Seriously, it's one of mine for sure.
I like when the Baron pulls the guy's plug.
Oh yeah, and he just kind of like erotically dances around the dude's blood.
I like this guy too.
Who's that guy? I don't know if I saw that guy. The lips become the stain becomes a warning.
The little
blah, 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 blah.
talking. Yeah. Okay, so that's.
That dude, the guy that folds space.
Yes.
The guild masters. Yeah. Anyways, at any rate, I digress.
Dune is coming, but you know it's not coming. Coachella, Burning Man, Stagecoach, 3 big events that people dress up and culturally appropriate other people's things and go and dance and stuff, which I'm not celebrating the demise of these 3 things because they will be rescheduled, but
I thought there was a Coachella where they were going to have all the bands play on Zoom or something like that. No,
it was Coachella, and it was a documentary. And actually, one of my neighbors, they threw a Coachella party, and they basically like locked all the doors, and they had like a Coachella rave in their bedroom. And they're still in there. It's been 2 days. We're worried about them. So yeah, that was actually supposed to be happening this weekend. So
Coachella was.
It's not happening, but it will happen again. I'm sorry.
Your festival outfits are just going to have to wait.
Self-chella. Nerd news. We talked about video games and stuff last night.
Who did? You talked about some last night?
I was talking to other people. Do you have any other nerd news before we get into a couple quick questions?
Oh, we have questions?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe we should just do those because we're going long here. All right, let's do the questions.
Questions are brought to you by ToddRichards.com. Questions are brought to you by youonline.com. How about that?
Oh wait, one more piece of nerd news, Chris.
Okay, go.
And this
go.
goes back to the Lion Tamer show. What is it called?
Oh my God! Tonight, Monday night.
But last night there was also something like the re-episode, Tiger King. The bonus episode was aired on Netflix. I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, and then there's another one on TMZ tonight.
Yeah, where they like go back and like I don't
Double
know, like
bonus.
re-interview people.
Double
it's
bonus.
You know, the Tiger King and the memes of the guy, or the memes with the guy. Why did I just say memes? The memes with the guy with the huge schlong are what's going to get us through coronavirus quarantine. Really, I mean, we just need to be admitting that. So,
we'll talk about those 2 new episodes next week.
Okay, all right, go into
the whole saga.
Go into the questions.
Okay, I got a question from a couple of fun ones, and they want to know, where can I get a couple right now? Where can people surf right now?
I believe Huntington Beach.
Still?
I believe, yeah, still. I believe Oxnard. You can still surf in Oxnard.
Dude, they're gonna come kick your ass for saying that.
Well, the water's poopy. I'm just saying, like, you can just go find out where you can go surf. And I think the Central Coast is, you can still kind of go in the Central Coast. And you can surf in Hawaii still.
You just can't film.
But here's the deal: is like you've got to basically adhere to social distancing rules. You can't stack up on the beach. You basically have to go in the water, surf, maintain distance. That's not really a problem for surfers.
No beach orgies.
No beach orgies, with the exception of going to like lowers and having 70,000 people in the water. But like, I think beaches are going to start to come back online, and it's going to end up being a thing where the surfers are going to have to police themselves. Who are you talking to?
There's a kid.
Oh,
a kid just took a dump like right there.
Okay, cool.
All right. Next question.
Dude,
Adam Edzart. Who's that? Oh, Julian Wilson surfing.
That's Julian Wilson surfing in Australia. So you can. There are places you can surf
with a drone. You can film with a drone, just not on the beach. Quick one right here from Adam Edzart. What does your quarantine playlist sound like? I will go first. I've been listening to a lot of New Order lately. The new Strokes is pretty cool.
Really? Really?
Yes. I've been listening to some Death Grips because I heard it on Westworld and got psyched. What else have I been listening to a lot of? Circus Lupus. If you want, on Spotify, I have a playlist called Current Fave Jams Updated Daily. And you can find my current favorite jams updated daily right there.
So is it my turn now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been listening to Sergei Lubkov's new band, Ways Away. He was one of the guys that was in Sam I Am back in the day. And also, he wasn't in Jealous Sound. I think he was in Jealous Sound for a little bit. Anyway, Ways Away. And then, I don't know. I've been kind of like listening to just like just kind of chilling music, like a lot of Tycho, just kind of like Tycho.
Tyga?
Tycho?
TYGA?
NWA as well, just like, just music you can kind of just relax to.
Okay. I back it.
Okay. What else we got?
That's it.
Oh, those are the questions?
I mean, we've talked and we've answered so many questions before we even, we pre-answered everyone's questions.
You didn't want to burden me with questions?
I didn't want to burden you with questions, but what I do want to burden with you is this thought. I just want you to know that I feel your presence. I hear your voice. I see your face. I can feel your soul, and I can feel that from a mile away, and I like it.
It's so weird. All right, well, Chris, you know what I'm gonna do, and I would like to see this from everybody else. Hit us on the Monday M.A.S.S Instagram or hashtag the Monday M.A.S.S. I'm gonna film a heel flip because I was wearing slippers, and I feel like I've just done myself wrong. So I'm going
out to the street. I hear kids out there. I'm gonna go regulate.
You film a heel flip. I'm gonna film a heel flip. But hey, this was the Monday M.A.S.S. This is our Zoom version of Monday M.A.S.S. We're still doing the podcast version, but we are now transferring over to a more high-tech Zoom version. So this is coming at you. We're gonna ride this coronavirus quarantine out, and that's it. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to you, Chris. Thanks to all of our guests, Mike Burnett. Also, we had Craig McMorris, and Albee Layer. And we will see you again next week on the Monday M.A.S.S.
Hear you. We're gonna see and hear you.
So now the roll-out music goes now. That's where you put that.
I don't know how to do that right now.
We'll figure it out. We are like two senior citizens trying to figure out Zoom. All right, we'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye.
Toodaloo. Dun dun dun.